Learning on to Steve Johnson. That's a beaut. I love that matchup.
How's your week been, Kel? Nice and quiet?
Nice and quiet, Tim. Looking forward to it, though.
Good on you. Scott McLaren sets them in motion. Big Mumford the tap for Geelong, but no takeaway, and there might be a secondary ball up.
Let him go, Shane. Thanks, Yvonne.
So Scott McLaren separates them again. The umpires are wearing black armbands today in honour of friends of umpire Simon Meredith, who had the tragedy of losing an 18-month-old son. The umpires bonding behind their mate's friend. And we send our thoughts. Gary Ablett with the footy for the Cats as they try and construct their first attack of the day. And they go through Mumford to Varco, who threads it to Johnson. Didn't have the carry. John Cock. Geelong's front men applying pressure. Stokes brought down. So a ball up 40 metres out.
Just down the other end, Tim, Milburn's gone to Tippett, which in his 250th game, they put the veteran at fullback. Thought they might have done Mackie, but that's not the case.
So here we go, inside 50 for the Cats. Vince trying to work it out of defence. Marriage, John Cock, and he spots a loose man. That's Otten. Crows are away here through Edwards. Good to see the veteran back. He's very reliable. Gets it back and then kicks long to a one-on-one contest. And Stevens used his body well there, but he's going to be pinged. Hands in the back. So the free kick to the Cats, it's Mackie.
Apparently he used the hands part of the body, which of course these days is strictly prohibited. Corey Enright was in good position and the crowd aren't happy that the mark wasn't paid. Vince to Goodwin, Adelaide repel, but Tom Harley, who returns, takes the mark, gives to Corey, who played that great last quarter last week. And here's another man who's back, and Johnson just razor sharp to Stokes, who can line them up.
You can't believe how good that was, Tim. Isn't it just beautiful when he kicks it like that? He is such an assist player. He's in the league, top in the league before he was injured. Have a look at that. Didn't have to change stride. What a beautiful kick.
It's pulled off the instep. Beautifully executed. And Stokes likewise. A bit of right to left. The Cats have the first goal of the day.
Just want tough. You want unbreakable. The New Look Toyota Hilux.
Look at this. This says CLASS.
All class, no doubt about that, Malcolm. And he's missed a month. The Cats lost 2 out of those 4, so they'll be pleased to see him back in the side again. The Cats with the first. Here's Marriage. High ball out from Edwards. Goes to centre half forward. Harley's there, so too poor Pleasure. Harley gets another crack at it. Selwood working their way around. Corey. Bartell. This hand pass, though, will make Ablett work. He's up to the challenge, and now it comes back to Mackie. Puts the kick out in front of Johnson. He's forced to double back. Running onto that well was Doughty. Gets the handball away just. Otten needs to beat 3. Couldn't. It falls down to Hawkins. It's a hot footy at the moment. Big Tom Hawkins goes in, and he's collected over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in.
Once again, great work from Johnson defensively. It's on. This has got a bit of heat into this game. It's good.
Back in play. Tippett took it out of the ruck. Handballs backwards. Doughty, long, along the line. Stevens was the target. Needed to beat a couple and couldn't. Corey brought down well by Dangerfield. Thompson dispossessed. Bartell. And now Corey. Straight to poor Pleasure. The Crows can go here. Vince unaware what was coming from behind. And Rook just rides him into the turf and gets the free.
Gee, you could play a bit of rugby league with a tackle like that.
Oh, who'd want to swap codes?
Well, that's a point. Mooney has Bock for company. Riley and the Crows are away. Bock clears, and he does it effectively to Knights, who stepped over the mark, says umpire Nichols. Nobody really responding to the umpire's urging of play on. So it is a set kick in the end. Mackie making good position and for the second time winning a free kick against Stevens. First time Stevens alleged to have pushed him in the back, had hands in his back, and that was a holding call. Now Milburn, careful with the kick. Not 15 metres. Chapman to Ling, who has picked up Goodwin. Back to Chapman. Now Corey Enright. And the Cats bringing it out a little cautiously. Joel Corey to Bartel. He was a happy man after he kicked that behind last week. Harley, Corey, making heavy weather of this. Milburn, little fumble. Bartel again, it's taking forever. But finally it comes out, and Steve Johnson has started like a shot out of a gun.
He certainly does, and he gets it straight to Stokes, who opted not to dive for the mark, instead tried to pick it up off the deck. Well, how about that? Straight to Steve Johnson. He kicked it beautifully and found a target only a few moments ago from that spot. Unfortunately, the Cats couldn't take a mark there. Selwood, though, beautiful handball. Varco running onto it, trying to pick it up. Oh, he couldn't pick it up, and it's a goal.
Missed.
Oh, well, they made a mess of that in the end. It was a little fumbly, and they couldn't get the major.
This is a lovely, lovely little left-hand push-off to Johnson again. He started really well.
And Hawkins growing over the last couple of weeks. Mightn't have had the presence of mind to make that play at an earlier time. Van Berlo from Bock. Now Goodwin and Thompson. Good clearance by the Crows. Rutten giving it to Doughty. Down the outer wing below the Reg Hickey stand. And Stevens and Tippett just getting in each other's way a little there. Being well contained early, but it's very early days. Geelong with the only goal of the match in good footy conditions. A cool day, wintry feel about it. Selwood takes it back to the line. Stevens there though. Riley. Poor Pleasure with 3 against him. Need to be good. He made a pretty fair fist of it. Now the numbers are squared up. Poor Pleasure buried though. Selwood, Enright, Ling, Corey, players running into space to provide the outlet options. Bad kick, put Bartel under serious pressure. Vince over the top, and Dangerfield. Oh, he needed to straighten. He tried to banana it. And the boy from Anglesey just down the road misses one that he'd like to forget.
Yes, you'd say it was a really bad choice there to come across ground. I mean, it was just 3 Crows players there. The thing I found fascinating is that Doughty was loose, so that means Geelong are playing an extra one in the back line. I'm just trying to pick up who it is. Doughty's
Milburn
got no
to
one.
Corey, to Ling, and now Harley out of defence. Just popped up there, and it gives the Crows an opportunity to win possession right up against the boundary line. McLeod is lurking, so too is Thompson. Overrunning it was Goodwin. Rook out the back, and now Enright to Bartel, playing his 150th.
I reckon he's the missing man, isn't he, Malcolm? Bartel.
Maybe I'll pick it. See if I can pick it up.
Loose men everywhere here as they bring it the broadcast wing. Hogan to Mooney. Well, he went to go left, and then he doubles back, goes right. It's a disappointing kick. Chopping it off was Van Berlo. They've got the numbers on the other side now, and they can run through Bock. Out to Riley. Season high 32 disposals in the showdown last Sunday. Perhaps a little unlucky to not win the showdown medal. Instead it was this man, Bock. His 100th.
Well, here he is. Here's Doughty getting the ball. He's certainly the loose one. I'm just still trying to find the Geelong player that they've pushed back. So both teams at the moment have got one extra back. That's why it's been difficult to score.
Short and wide. Symes. Just struggling to get it out of the defensive 50. Certainly had these sort of problems against the Saints a few weeks ago. Symes fakes one way and then goes the other. Needed to find a target and did. Riley, Thompson, Knights, McLeod. Now they're linking up along the lines, and there's some good movement through the corridor. Doughty goes out wide to Thompson. Oh, terrific smother by Milburn in his milestone game, and the crowd likes that. They get up on their feet and applaud. What a warrior he's been. Darren Milburn, terrific defensive stuff.
And that was so important because Paul Pleasure had got loose. He was all on his own in the square, and that's where we'll see him in the background, and that's where the kick was headed.
Yeah.
So Milburn just worth his weight in gold, as he has been so often over the years. An Adelaide free kick here. Riley taken high. So the Crows can build. They're more than competitive in the early part, as we come to expect of them. And they pushed Geelong, even though the Cats got away late in the contest over in Adelaide earlier in the year. High ball, Knight's their hope, but he's got 3 against him.
I can tell you now, Tim, that kick out to that pocket when you're going forward is absolutely useless. There'll be 1 goal 12 kick from that pocket.
Is it worse than the Bermuda Triangle in Adelaide?
It is. It is a terrible pocket. Cannot believe you'd put the ball there. That is Dumbsville.
Tippett from behind. Bartel, Ling, Corey. Oh, put Ling under the hammer there. He knew it was coming, so he didn't take possession. And he's foxed a free kick. Well played by the midfield stalwart. Now Ablett. But Adelaide zoning and Geelong not bringing it out easily in the early part. Harley, Corey, Milburn. And now Gillies, the late inclusion for Lonigan, to Johnson, who's come down to lend a hand, provide another number. Burns gives it back to him. Geez, a reassuring sight for Geelong fans. He receives from Gillies, Bartel, now Hogan, now Ling, now the build is on. This has been very well done by the Cats. Can they finish it? Yes, they should. Although Mooney is in that horror zone. He'll kick from about 20 or 25. We'll be hearing from Cam Mooney at half-time in an extended interview, incidentally, and he does talk about his goal-kicking woes since that infamous miss at half-time in the grand final.
Well, one hand higher than the other, which some players do.
Needs a good start. Doesn't get it. Just what he doesn't want.
Well, I'll tell you, hold the ball any way you like. If you don't hold it in the middle and drop it and guide it down with one hand, and if one hand's higher than the other, you're going to be inconsistent. The laws of physics come into this. And secondly, just plain old common sense.
And that's 26-27 he's kicked from set shots this year. 22-27 rather. So
just destroys you. That wonderful build-up. A lot of zone play going on here.
And John Cock urged to play on, so he had no other option but to kick long. And that's a really strong contested mark taken by Bock.
Both teams playing a zone, so they'll move down the ground.
All Australian last year, Bock. You think he'd get the nod again. Now they move it down the outer side through Edwards. Big pack up. Harley at the fall of the ball. Chopping it off and running through though was Knights. And he's got a man all by himself inside 50. Tippett takes the mark.
Gee, they're not frightened to take a punt, the Geelong defence.
Kurt Tippett.
Here's this movement before, Kelly, as they run in waves. See, because the Adelaide Crows are zoning off. They actually don't play on anyone. So the Cats at best at doing this, not releasing the football until they're in their clear.
They're keeping you out of the Crows' rooms and away, getting your hands off this young man, Kurt Tippett. He's from the Gold Coast, of course. As he lines up for the Crows first, splits the middle, never in doubt. And the scores are level here. In fact, it's the Crows trailing by 1 point, but they've got their first on the board.
Around the nation, people are asking,
what's that taste in my mouth?
What's that taste in my mouth?
What is that taste in my mouth?
what's that taste in your mouth? The future.
Carlton Natural Blonde. Full strength beer. Low carbohydrates. Nothing artificial.
And friends with machine. The beer of tomorrow brewed in time for today.
Gentlemen, taste the future in your mouth. Carlton Natural Blonde.
Kurt Tippett joins Jason Portpleasure with 37 goals for the year. They share the lead in the race for the club goal-kicking title.
Crows still have one back, one spare, sitting behind this pack.
Tough start to this game. Ablett breaks it open for Geelong. Stokes and Mooney both there. The wind just curled it away from them. And well played, John Cock. It's crossed the line now. It's a good contest. Both teams zoning, making it difficult for attacks to be constructed. Johnson receiving from Hawkins for a second time in this opening quarter. Varco, Rook got rid of Bock well, but takes Hogan a long way from goal. Corey Enright from a long way. And, oh, Johnson, it was too easy for him. Thought he might backheel it through there. There's a whistle. And it's a Johnson free kick. Otten got him high. And Johnson having the better of that contest against a young opponent. Lucky to get away with that, though, after dropping this.
Have a look at the ball spinning. It wasn't quite the right drop punt. It just floated as fraction, and you don't expect him to do that, but he'll make up for it now.
Poor tackle by Otten. And Johnson makes him pay with his first. The Cats by 7.
NAB iSaver gives you a whole lot more than just a bonus rate, like unlimited withdrawals without sacrificing your bonus interest. Plus, you get instant access to your savings through a linked NAB Smart Everyday account. And you get a great rate, plus bonus interest for 4 months to really get you saving. Have it all with NAB iSaver. It's what your money would do. Visit nab.com.au/iSaver to find out more.
Here he is, Max Rook. Does Rugby League want him with that ability to do that?
A lot of talk about switching codes this week, Malcolm. Could he do it?
Oh, I don't know why.
He looks like a rugby league player. Back in the middle, and it's Hawkins palming it down. Overrunning it was Hogan. Ling's in there. It's not coming out. We'll go again.
Kelly, just to finish that off, I think everyone in football should be on the hunt for a very good player anywhere.
Hunt.
Yes.
Been the word. It was a free to Mooney. He's in 2 minds, a little indecisive. He goes out wide to Tenace. And now they send it to half forward. Rook again in the thick of it. McLeod at the fall of the ball. He's got no one to kick it to. And it's all Geelong back there. Tenace, haircut during the week, using Enright. And now Milburn. He's seen plenty of it in this first term, the milestone man. Ling forced to just bomb away on his boot. And it's Vince that takes the mark, the relieving defensive mark. Over the top to Van Berlo. Now they bring it out the other side. Here's Dangerfield. He knows this ground inside out. Played a couple of seasons for the Geelong Falcons. And he'll be looking for a big day out. Otten's caught. Just got the kick away. It was ineffective. Diving in hard is Goodwin. And won't squirt out of there, so we'll go again.
And the zoning is causing some problems for both teams. Finding it a bit hard to break through. Got to be clean with your hands and clean with your skill.
So this is Mooney and Seller. The fist came from Symes. And Wojcinski, Harley, Tenace, and now back to Wojcinski. He can run. He opts to go by foot. Can't find a target. Rook met heavily. Doughty tries to keep it in play. Uses Rutten. Rutten's played every minute of every game so far this season, the only player to do so. Now Van Berlo through the centre corridor, looks for Stevens. Terrific defensive fist by Corey from behind. Comes out to Stevens again, he'll go again. Milburn standing tall. And they maintain possession on the outer side in front of the Reg Hickey stand. The fans clap. Chapman links up with Corey. Joel Corey really lifted in that last quarter last week. Back to Chapman, and then he sends it inside 50. The Cats wanted the free. Johncock spilt it. He'd spilled it before he collected it. But Goodwin swoops. Edwards. Back to Van Berlo. Using the centre again. Burton started this game on the bench to McLeod. They team up. They go in the Tippett direction. And Milburn again. Defensive fist over the boundary line.
It's just called a dead pocket. I think I can't be more simple than that, Tim.
Zone of death. Tippett rucking now with Mooney. Edged him out. Did it well. Harley looks to have it covered. Burton did well. Corey shunts him over. Crows can't buy a free kick. The numbers are 6-1 Geelong's way. First, now, there is a free kick.
Well, I thought it was pretty well done. Did that come off his boot then? I looked away.
Must have done. Yeah, so did I. Burton opens it up and very cleverly curls it home for Adelaide's second.
Introducing the revolutionary Snickers More Nuts system. The first nut sends micropulses to your taste buds. Nuts 2 to 5 neutralize hunger. Now welcome nuts 6 to infinity. That's more than 1 billion. Snickers More Nuts for a limited time.
If you absolutely love the Red Rooster Ripper sub, you now have a difficult choice. Go with the classic, or try the chili and garlic aioli, or smoky barbecue flavour. Whichever one you pick, it'll be a ripper.
Well, let's have a look at what happened here. Initially, I think the call was play on, and the ball went over, but I think it might have come off Corey's boot.
Out on the full.
So it was out on the full, not a push in the back.
Cats have sent Ablett forward, guys. John Cock got the job on him now. Shirley not going down forward with Ablett.
So it's Mooney and Marich. Marich, only just. Edwards, Goodwin, quick handball to Shirley. Kicks to Knights, in front. Couldn't take the mark. Mackey's there. Nearly gave it up. Had forced to go in and win his own ball again. Now Shirley. And he is dumped into the turf by Wojcinski.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at this closely. He's come there. I reckon that's bounced over his leg. I'm still not sure that was a free.
I think the Geelong fans agree with you, Malcolm. There was some Bronx cheers when the replay was played here at the ground. Mumford. He's great at winning his second ball. Now Johnson. They run. They link up. Varco. Bartel. Burns. He can have a couple of bounces. He does just that. Doesn't go from home from outside 50. In fact, it's on behind play. And it was Selwood that was put down behind play. And there's a bit of niggle now between Chapman and Edwards. Chapman goes in to remonstrate with Edwards. It was Selwood who was dumped. And as a result, the free will come.
And a 50-metre penalty, so it'll come on the goal line.
Scott McLaren, the umpire, in having a chat to Selwood. He won't miss from there, as easy as you like. And the Cats have got their third.
A gruesome discovery has the media in a frenzy.
And this journo will do anything for the story.
This guy's a murderer.
Let me do the interview and then you can have him.
Just tell me where you're meeting him.
Rush, Thursday on 10.
With Josh Lawson, Armdo, Kitty Flanagan, Josh Thomas and Sean McAuliffe.
This show will go off.
Oh, this is going to be a corker of a show. Oh, my eye.
Good News Week, Monday on 10.
So two separate incidents giving Gary Ablett a shot from on the goal line, and the Cats lead the Crows by 7 points. What do you make of the breeze, Malcolm? You know the conditions here better than most of us.
It is favouring the end slightly to which the Crows are going.
So the Cats are making pretty good progress then with 3 goals the other way and a lead.
Yes, and if you had your pie chart, Tim, most of the Crows' attacks have been on the outer side from this broadcast point, which is really a tough way to pick goals.
Wojcinski, who played a part in that last build-up, and Rook here gives to Enright creatively and well. Hawkins getting under this. The big man's got it. He's a big, strong young fella.
I won't say every time, Tim, but isn't it ironical that the Cats have actually attacked down this side a lot more than what the Crows have?
Bit of local knowledge.
Yep.
And Tom Hawkins knew where the drop zone was then.
Here we go. We talked about where to put. Oh, look, his right leg. He's more over his right leg. Remember last week? I reckon he's done a bit of work on this.
Might have been watching some videotape during the week and listening to some commentary.
Hope so.
So Hawkins with his first touch.
Didn't listen.
Poor result.
He didn't listen to the right things. Tommy, what have you done?
As we mentioned last week, Geelong have the worst conversion rate. They have more shots from between 30 and 50 metres than any team in the comp, but their conversion rate is terrible.
Tim can also say, I'd rather see him do that. I mean, it would look technically better. He will get better, more consistent by doing it more often. You know, one kick, we know, let's not bag him for one kick. As long as he keeps doing that, I reckon he'll be better.
Inside 50s, 10-5 in favour of Geelong. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the opening term. Not much in it whatsoever as the Crows again trying to work their way out of defence. The ball in the hand of Van Berlo. Be careful they don't overpossess it here. McLeod is clever. That though to Bog. The give and go back to McLeod, and they opt to work it out of the defensive 50 with a handball or two. Now by foot to Knights on the wing. He goes by hand of Van Berlo. Gee, they love the handball, don't they, the Adelaide Crows? Now Knights on the left, inside 50. Terrific Mark Dangerfield just worked his way in front, and he read that beautifully.
He was 1.5 metres behind, and just pace. That is unbelievable. What, you could just see him get 1.5 metres behind, and he's ended up in front of Kane Tenace.
Big raps on Patrick Dangerfield. Of course, he grew up just down the Surf Coast, Moggs Creek. His parents, Jeanette and John, mad Cats fans, and they're guests of the President's Lunch here today. So feeling like you, Malcolm, a little torn, no doubt.
Oh, it's a nice thing that's happening.
Patrick Dangerfield to bring it back to a 1-point ball game, and he's just hooked it out to the right.
It's interesting the way they're using Dangerfield at the moment. Mainly forward. He's dangerous. Can play midfield. Still only a young player.
He played a lot of his junior footy for the Falcons at centre-half forward. And
he's missed 2 that he should have kicked in this first quarter. He's having trouble inflicting pain on his old stamping ground. Mackie here goes wide. Bartel had the run at it.
It's a beautiful mark, isn't he, for his size? That's what makes him special, that player. He can mark, unlike a lot of others. He can take it over his head.
Rook. And again, the Cats being patient. Ablett, Harley, skipper just taking a little bit of time to find his touch here as he makes his return. Milburn had a wonderful first quarter. Ablett taking on Vince, then having to get the hand pass. Vachinsky and Mackie. So a throw in.
Tim, both teams are using handball into the wind. Have a look at this. Kick to handball ratio. 49 to 76, so 39% to 43. So they're handballing a lot, and generally done mainly on a windy day. Because you know the reason why, Tim. You know, they say you can kick goals with a wind, a 3-goal win.
Absolutely. I believe in that strongly.
Yeah, how many goals have you seen the wind ever kick?
I've seen a few carry the ball over the fingers of the pack. Haven't you?
Did you answer my question?
Is Ablett.
There's going to be there is a lot more handball, obviously. They're trying to break through the zones. Geelong really invented this football, this overuse of the handball, probably.
What about you, Kel? Have you ever seen the wind kick a goal?
not to this point in time, no. But Malcolm assures me maybe this afternoon. Here's Riley working hard in and under. Hogan and Wojcinski time up. So at times a little scrappy at the start of this game, but there's nothing in it. And you get the feeling Neil Craig will be happy with this result heading into quarter time as umpire Scott McLaren gives it to the Crows.
Oh, what a silly mistake. Well, Milburn's blotted the copybook on a very good opening quarter.
I bet he doesn't change it, Darren. He won't change it. Have you ever seen an umpire change a decision like that after they've given one, you know, a bit of an iffy one? No. Save your energy.
Kurt Tippett loomed as the X factor heading into this game, given there's no Scarlett, Taylor and Lonigan a late withdrawal. All three defenders out with groin injuries. He posed the problem for the Cats up forward heading in. And he's kicked his second of the quarter. It's back to a one-point ball game.
Okay, once more round. Beat this poser. 3 laps to go.
Keep running.
Make it home, make it home, make it home. Is that Adam Goods? Catch up. September.
Powerade Isotonic. Perform at your peak for longer. Powerade. The power to reach your goal.
Frustrating. Done everything right up until the last minute and a half of the quarter, and Darren Milburn gives away a 50, and it produces an easy goal. Kurt Tippett's second bounce here will be re-executed by Matthew Nichols. He's a phenomenal bouncer of the ball. That was high, as all of his are, but it veered off the vertical. So throw it up. Time for a score either way late in the piece. The Crows haven't led yet, but it's been goal for goal. Geelong edging away, Adelaide pulling back. Andrew McLeod having a relatively modest opening term, but he's had half a dozen disposals of the footy. Seller and Mumford with Tippett there as well.
Cameron Ling, Scott Thompson.
So
Clear hold of the arm.
Outside the ruck contest, a free to Adelaide. And there is time for them to think and construct. Bock to Doughty. Rook bearing down. Just cut the kick's distance. That was well done. That's what they call a 1%er. It took 10 metres off the kick, and instead of finding a forward, it found Joel Selwood.
He's a ball magnet, this man, Joel Selwood. 42 touches last week in that terrific win against the Hawks. Edwards and Ling. Ling and Edwards.
Oh, get out of it.
Holding the ball, umpire. So Ling will be rewarded for a big tackle.
Tim, we talked about this off air. This is one of the rules that we both dislike. You've got to give the guy some chance of getting rid of it.
I agree. They were red hot in last night's game between Carlton and North, and I hope they just ease it back a bit.
Counting down till quarter time. Cats with possession through Enright. And that wraps up a pretty entertaining first quarter here at Skilled Stadium. Game well and truly in the balance. It is the Cats by 1 point.
It is. And it's good. And it is Saturday afternoon footy.
Okay, Geelong by a point at quarter time. Don't forget, Monday night, 7:30. First with the review programs on 1HD, 1 week at a time.
Monday nights from 7:30.
Change, a goal-for-goal struggle through the first quarter, and we've got a tight game unfolding in front of us. The envy of all of us today, though, is Mark Howard, who's soaking up the fresh country air down on the boundary line. Howie.
Magnificent down here in Geelong, as always, Tim. We're promoting National Tree Day. I'm pretty average in the kitchen and non-existent in the garden. Might have to get out there tomorrow. Bit of vision here of Matty Maguire yesterday. Visited North Melbourne Primary School to plant some tree with kids. Now, tomorrow is National Tree Day. Toyota is celebrating their 10th year of involvement. People across the country will be getting involved in hundreds of official tree planting activities organised by schools, councils and Toyota dealers. Roll up your sleeves. I want to see you involved, Blighty. Get your hands dirty and visit toyota.com.au/tree day for more information. Quick one to keep an eye out for. Gary Ablett went forward for one centre bounce only in that quarter. He turned John Cock inside out, was far too quick for him and ended up with a goal. So when he goes forward, Blighty, he is extremely dangerous.
Yeah, about as good as your gardening. And secondly, surely it's freezing down there. You're lying.
It is freezing down here. It's always freezing down here. Doesn't matter when you come down here, Blighty, it is freezing.
You try 6 years out in the middle, into middle of July, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Pretty cool.
Coldest place you've ever been?
Very cold.
You'd be a tropical vegetation now, man now, Blighty, I guess.
Absolutely.
Up at Palm Cove.
It's great suburban ground, this, though, isn't it? Sensational.
It's terrific. Takes you back in time. Second term, Cats by a point.
And we're underway. It's been a pretty good start to this game. Game well and truly in the balance. The crowd would be enjoying that. There's been a couple of blowouts already this year. Now Rook looking for Chapman. And, there's a big collision. Bodies on the line. A couple of players go down. Chapman runs back onto it. We'll see it over the boundary line. In fact, they kept it back in. It was slapped back in by Riley. Chapman now, top of the goal square. It's Geelong everywhere. And Bartel in his 150th. He is terrific overhead, Jimmy Bartel.
Killer he is, and that's why we all love him. Steve Johnson has worn one here for the team. That's footy. But guess which side they came in from? There's Selwood at the other one, so there's a couple of heavy real clashes, but they've brought it on the attacking side of the ground. Just see how many times they do this for the day.
Jimmy Bartel. He's done everything in the game. Yet to win a best and fairest, though. Brownlow medalist, premiership player. And that was never in doubt. A terrific start for the Cats in the second term.
So some really good signs for Geelong. Tremendous courage. Bartel, great mark, good hands, and Selwood with the flight Wonder if that would normally be a free kick though against Selwood. Doubt he had eyes on the ball and was trying to mark it, and was taken out with frontal contact, as we say these days. Here's Symes for Adelaide. Thompson, Van Berlo, smother from Stokes. Even Rook can't barge through there though. The raging bull. So there'll be a ball up.
Now, just see how Geelong worked this ball towards their goal square. I'm really fascinated by this. It is really local knowledge. See if they try and work it to the other side somehow, if they can get hold of it, of course.
No doubt that breeze is blowing it straight into that pocket, Blighty. And a slight issue for Kane Tenace. Went off in the first quarter with a quad. He's gone back down to the room. So looks like just he's tweaked a quad, Kane Tenace.
He played half the first quarter and played loose down the back. So another defender in trouble for Geelong. Well, it's a bad kick and the Cats are dangerous again. Bartel, deadly. Hawkins within range.
Yeah.
The distance greater, but that might be good for him.
Yeah, did everyone see Cameron Wing there just pointing to him? Just go back, son. Kick the footy. There he is. Good leadership from Cameron Ling. Same routine. Over your right leg. Run in. Guide the ball down onto your leg.
So just one kick. Set shot which missed in the first quarter. Gets a bit close to the man on the mark there. And misses.
Can I tell you something? That spun all right though, didn't it? Wasn't an all ugly kick.
Better hand position on the ball, you sense?
Yeah, yes. I think it's more balanced. Slightly more balanced. It'll come.
John Cock on kicking duties. Again, a little indecisive. Short. Straight down the middle. McLeod. His future was questioned in the Adelaide press a couple of weeks ago. He responded last week. 30 touches and a couple of goals. Now Bock.
If you're wondering why he's hesitating, Geelong have been, they've got an 18-man zone. This is going to be interesting if the Crows get through.
Bock opts to take them on, and then he kicks up the wing in front of the interchange gates. Harley did everything right, just spilt it right at the last minute.
He's actually just dropped a few, Tom Harley, the skipper returning there. He's got his hands on a lot, just hasn't quite got the touch yet. Missed a bit of footy. Yeah,
he's missed a total of 10 this year, and the last couple with a knee injury, and you just get the feeling it might be his last season. Now the Cats through Bartel. Corey, they've got loose men on the outer side if they can get it there, but it was an ordinary kick off the side of the boot. And now Stevens goes long, empty goal square. How will it bounce? Through for a behind.
That was the 18-man zone they applied, and they got through the Crows. It's good footy when you get through. It's a bit muddling, a bit ugly getting through it, but if you get through it, something can happen.
And it often hinges on the little things, and it was the push on Corey that opened the door, forced his kick off line. So Adelaide keeping Geelong honest. Mackie goes wide to Rook, who's been a presence, playing at half forward, kick barely carrying to Johnson. He got into Otten's back there, and it'll go against him. No doubt he was kidding a bit. He was going for the mark, but he was certainly, I reckon, his first action. Yes, it was a good decision.
I'm really surprised that Rook kicked the ball there. There are other options back in the middle. I'm really surprised.
Here's Rutten for Adelaide. Oh, good spoil by Baczynski on Riley. Was that because of the wind, Malcolm?
Yes, most definitely.
So the Cats by 7 points. Neither side has strung consecutive goals together yet. Geelong looking poised to do it at any tick of the clock, having kicked the last. There's a holding the ball. Now, who was the last man? It's against Stokes.
This is, we talk about Indian arm wrestles. This is classic. We'll just let this unfold here.
Otten can have a run, and he does just that. Kicks to half forward. Van Berlo was brought down. The umpire says legally, and it was by Rook. Now Bartel, awkward half volley, and they're all over him. Jimmy Bartel, is that holding the ball? No. Tackles this quarter, 6-1 Adelaide. So they've certainly lifted their work rate.
There's a bit of history here too. Adelaide have got a few wallopings down here, so right now Neil Craig could be fairly happy with what's happening.
Another fierce tackle. That was Thompson. And Chapman just gets away. It's a high and hope kick, and it's marked by Adelaide. Doughty, and he's dealt with after he takes the mark. Not a 50 though. Michael Doughty, one of the elder statesmen in this Adelaide side. Otten needed to get it away, and he got the kick away, but it was ineffective. And the Cats now with the numbers through Hogan.
And again, it was a tackle that just reduced the effectiveness of a kick that turned the ball over. Bad bounce here for Hawkins. Turns it over again. Rutten, though, that was a bad hand pass. An easy steal for Hawkins. He's kicked too wide. Well, here's Tom Hawkins chasing hard. And again, he's hasn't had a lot of the footy, and his couple of shots for goal have been disappointing, but he is working hard. Scott Thompson to Doughty again. The pickings are easy for the Geelong smotherers. Ling, head over the ball, Enright, Stokes, Chapman. Good move this by the Cats. Chapman knows how to kick a goal, and it's just what he does here.
Interesting build-up here that, as you see, the ball comes back to a nice spot where Chapman fronts the goal, but came from this side of the ground. Crows are good at the moment. I mean, it is a bit of an Indian arm wrestle. Both coaches putting a lot of players around the footy.
Seller and Mumford. Edwards had his arm pinned, got it away just in time. McLeod now to Stevens, inside 50, 2-on-2, tip it in front. Terrific defensive punch from behind from Harley. And now Mackie over to Hogan, dispossessed, gets the handball away. Now Mackie again. Corey under the pump a little bit. Cool head out wide, numbers everywhere. Over to Chapman. He kicked the last goal and he can run here. He spots a loose man in Ling. What will Ling do? He won't have a bounce. Just a low kick out in front of Mooney. Gee, picked that up beautifully and then turns around on the left. How will it bounce? Just across the face. That would have been a terrific goal by Cam Mooney. Got down low for a big man. Made it look easy.
All started from about a 35-metre punch. Watch Harley come from behind. Just used the fist to move the ball forward. Didn't try and belt it too hard. Wonderful punch.
First opening in the game. Geelong by 14 points. Thought it was notable in the build-up to that last Geelong goal that a couple of soft steals by the Cats from faulty Adelaide hand passes, as though the pressure of a quarter and a half is just starting to expose cracks. And there's another one. Oh, the mark's paid. The boundary umpire was right on the line from our vantage point, not far off his. It looked as though it might have crossed. Bob turns it over, and Mooney should kick this, and he does. And the Cats lead by 20 points. The mistakes are flowing from the Adelaide defence all of a sudden.
They are, Tim, and I mean, Geelong are actually employing an 18-man zone. They're pushing all their defenders up. There's a lot of Crows players staying behind that. Here's that mark. The umpire was right there. You've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was there. Look at all the Geelong players. They're pushed right up. Have a look. That's just a poor kick, isn't it? And, well, paid the ultimate price.
You just sense the Crows really need to weather the storm here, or they could be blown out of the water in the second quarter. 3 in a row for the Cats, and perhaps some concerns down on the bench. Paul Chapman with a little bit of stretching. Mumford straight to Edwards. They need a clearance, and they've got one here. Long inside 50. To sit from behind was Mackie. He was paid the mark, but it was a free anyway against Burton, and Tom Harley will take it.
Gee, Andrew Mackie's an accomplished player.
Oh, he's a lovely player, isn't he? I think I've seen him play forward and kick goals. He's played on the wing, we know he can do that. But he reminds me of a young Matthew Scarlett. I mean, he's getting in that sort of ilk in the game.
Beautiful balance, and now here's a steal with the boot on the other foot. Poor Pleasure, Adelaide's most dangerous forward. He can't get the carry into the wind, and, well, the Cats... Bartel thought about taking it over, decided against it. Gives to Enright, Burns to Nace, and the Cats' confidence is starting to flow almost visibly. Varco, nice collect eventually, and good dash. Needs to get it out of the death zone.
See that, Tim? They brought it back.
Stokes brought it inside. Stokes has men moving. He goes for Adelaide. He'll have 2 against him, and he can't get to the drop. Mark paid to Vince.
Once again, though, bringing it back in.
Putting it in the right spot. They know their ground like the back of their hands.
Vince to Goodwin, to McLeod, to Burton. Hands in the back, surely.
Sadly, Brett Burton just can't find the footy at the moment. He's only had a couple of touches, and so he got a bit desperate there.
He kicked the first 2 for the Crows last week in the showdown. Started in a blaze of glory and finished with 5. But a rusty start this afternoon. And here go the Cats again. Looking for Ablett. Was he held there? The crowd thought he was.
Bye-bye.
Doesn't make it. Doesn't matter at all. It won't make any difference. A bounce and disappointing kick. Well,
get him off.
He is human after all.
Get him off. You can't let us down like that.
Well, he didn't have anyone within cooey of him, and perhaps he couldn't hear a call telling him to keep running, because he could have cut that distance to 15 metres.
Move it in, Ben. Play on.
But it's all Geelong at the moment. 21 points. Rutten kicks neatly to Otten. Goodwin hasn't had major impact. Harley front position, pushed again.
Gain.
It shouldn't matter whether it's the forearm or the hand. He was pushed out. The skipper's ball, getting himself in the right spot. Not the tallest defender, but has plenty of nous under that shaved dome.
Isn't it funny, since that long punch he's done a couple of really good things on Burton now, isn't it? Just that confident act. Your team gets a goal and off you go.
Here goes Johnson. A bit quieter in this quarter after a very good start. Cats building again, but the kick wayward here from Gillies, and Stevens is in the way. Rutten. Crows with the numbers. John Cock. He's going to be pinged for another push. I'm glad it's Geelong's home game and not Adelaide's. This wouldn't be going down very well. The count is 12-6 Geelong's way.
Kick not effective. Chapman maybe pushed in the back. Johnson play on. Ling, good tackle on Thompson rather. And now riding a big tackle was Vince. And it's the free against Bartel in the back. A little bit of a wrestle, as you can see on behind play. Vince switches it. Goodwin. And now the kick comes to half forward. Harley again playing out in front of Burton. Burton a little frustrated at the moment. Can he make amends? Dispossess. Brought down to ground by Varco. Varco another tackle. Bock, they're working it around the Crows. Now Riley, long and high. The pack forms. Tippett got his hands to it. Great second effort. It's a high ball though. And it's all Geelong. It's Milburn that mops up. Goes for a bit of a run. He's almost taunting and teasing Porplesia there, and Porplesia got a little hand to it. Good deflection. It's still the Cats with possession. Burns dropped what he should have taken. Shirley over the boundary line, holding the ball. Against Shirley. Gee, they're hot on that today.
Crows really need one here, don't they? I mean, saying the obvious, but he's got to stay a bit cooler. They're kicking the ball just high and wide in the forward line, easily mopped up by the defence.
Yet to get a goal this quarter, the Adelaide Crows, after 3 in the first. And here we go again, the Cats are pressing. And off to the races is Wajinski. He loves to run. He can go the whole way. He unloads from right on 50, and it's a disappointing kick yet again. So they're squandering opportunities, the Cats.
And again, the shot taken from too far out. He either should have cut the distance and had the shot, or from that range set it up for somebody else.
Yeah, I had a rule that if you bounced it, you had to kick it to someone. Do you know what I mean? It's just because everyone gets out of position, you kick it to your first teammate.
It's interesting seeing the mistakes start to come, isn't it? I mean, this has been an intense game of footy, and you can see the wear and tear of it in just under a half. Both teams making some judgment errors. Good effort, Marriage. And good option too to McLeod. Vince with enough pace to steady and go for home, but he just misses. And the Crows are still without a goal in the second quarter, in which the Cats have kicked 3 and stretched the lead to 3.5 goals.
And that would have provided the spark that they need. They just need a real team lifter. Corey to Mooney, forced to work hard again. Soccer off the ground, only as far as Adelaide. And it's Stevens. Goodwin to Bock. They've given him some space here and he loves to run. Over to Van Berlo and then out wide, one-on-one, Thompson and Ling. Thompson did well, then forced to retreat with the handball and they reload again. Knights marks out in front. Good, strong offensive mark.
Stevens, the one for Adelaide, sitting behind the play now. They've tended to play one extra, but he has got some important touches lately, and that really set up this play for Stevens, who is a lovely kick. Beg your pardon, Knights.
It's a left footer. Chris Knights, 29 goals from his 13 games so far this year. This is tough though, and he's not quite up to the challenge. So another behind for the Adelaide Crows. They trail by 20 points.
It's an interesting stat, his 29 goals. As you said, Kelly, from 13 games. Prior to this year, he'd played 50 games and kicked 10 goals. He's been converted into a goal-kicking forward this year, and he's done the job well in a team that actually needs precisely that commodity. Oh, Tenace. It's out of bounds. But it didn't go through for a behind.
I mean, the other thing is too, I mean, it is a bit windy out there, and as Howie said, he's got icicles on his nose now. It is cold. You can let the ball drop crooked.
Poor Pleasure just couldn't get the leverage. Burton with 3 or 4 against him. Knights with a second chance, but look at the Geelong numbers around him. Oh, they're onto him like a horde of hyenas. I hope they don't mind me saying that. Wyszynski to Tenace, took his time and made a mess of it in the end. But there are some good men around him. One of them, Gary Ablett, needs no introduction. Hawkins stripped of it though. Good pressure from Adelaide. The veteran Edwards with the left. Can't quite finish it. More frustration for the visitors.
A horde of hyenas. Very good, Tim.
I thought I said a herd.
Milburn back in play. Finds Chapman.
I'm not sure of the correct collective noun for hyenas.
It's hundreds of.
Might be a cackle.
No, 100 of hyenas.
100. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll let you two sort it out. Chapman back to Milburn. Switching play. Bartel. Popped up for an anxious moment and made Mackie work for it. Improving as the game goes on. Andrew Mackie, not that time though. Straight back to the Crows, and Knights will get a second crack at it. And it has just gone through for a behind. Almost missed everything.
Well, it's the last 3 shots at goal have missed to the left down that end. There is a breeze pushing it that way. You think you'd learn.
Harley with the fly from behind, just swatted it down. With his head over the footy was Vince. And now Goodwin, too quick for Shirley over the boundary line.
It's a little patch here, isn't it? Adelaide are having a little patch. They really need to get something from the pressure they've actually put on Geelong here.
It's been a bit stop-start the last few minutes. McLeod, Vince, Goodwin going backwards. Now Vince can turn and find Shirley.
Right there, Shannon. Wait for the call.
Leads are coming.
Move it on.
He ignores them. No other option to bomb it long. And with the fly was Burton.
Got one.
Brett Burton's claimed the mark. A much needed mark for Burton and also the Crows.
Thank you.
Had the sit, read it beautifully.
Not one fist there, all marking.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Well, Harley's done just about everything right except on that occasion. So Brett Burton booted 4 last week in the showdown. If anyone's going to provide the spark, it will be this man, and he does that. Brett Burton delivers a much-needed goal for the Crows.
Harley coming across. Here's Burton, got his hands down. Yeah, fair enough.
No doubt.
No doubt at all.
Fine mark. Crows chipping away. It's back to 12 points. They've only had 2 goal kickers. Burton and Tippett, 2 each. Selwood hasn't been as prominent as last week, but he set the bar high then. Enright pokes the Cats forward. Stokes, was he held? Crowd thought he was. Van Berlo to Goodwin. Stevens, Goodwin left-sided, uses the left, a bit dangerous. But he just got it right enough to Doughty, to Edwards. Chapman, tremendous effort. They're the efforts that can produce telling goals. And now Chapman sets it up. Mackie. Van Berlo, though. Doughty, Goodwin, Edwards, the old firm. Symes, Knights. And the Adelaide defence stands up under pressure. Gee, if they could kick another goal, they're right back in this. Porplesia with Gillies, the late replacement. It's a free if he wants it. Now, the umpire's insisting that it comes back. Why?
Oh, I'd have to agree. He wasn't impeded. He got away clearly, didn't he? There it is, and whistle there, and he's away.
Why pull that back? I mean, he'd gained about 30 metres by the time play was stopped. That just does not seem a logical call. Here's Burton again, and again he beats a couple of Cats. He's starting to find touch. I don't think he could kick a goal from out there.
Tippett's going to be outnumbered here. He's got Hawkins and Milburn.
And there aren't a lot of other options. Knights is lurking, and so's Scott Thompson. So Burton, fresh from having kicked one, goes for the hot spot. Tippett came too late. Cat defence strong. Wyszynski assertive. Burns.
Just some nice showers passing across the ground now, guys, just to top things off down here, Blighty.
Well done, Howie.
Be refreshing, I would imagine, Howie.
Extremely refreshing, Tim. There could be some sleet involved shortly.
Out wide, Wyszynski. He's seen plenty of the ball this quarter. This is a high ball. Who can read it best? That man, Chapman.
And you know why? Because the breeze is pushing the ball that side. Just get on that side and you've got more chance than the opposition. Pretty tricky game sometimes. Have a look at this. He stayed that side. Doughty had to get that side.
A little bit of inside knowledge from Paul Chapman. Out-muscled Doughty.
Don't have to be too smart some days, do you?
For his second for the quarter. The shadows of half-time. And he squeezes it home. Paul Chapman, a little bit of breathing space for the Cats.
Kelly, we were talking at quarter time, and I thought the margin somewhere between 16 odd points and
You
3
did
goals.
predict that. Yes.
I just felt that with their ground, their ability, what's looking out there, Adelaide didn't quite use the footy well enough in that first quarter, I didn't think. So this is about where I thought the game might be at half-time. Another goal either way, and it's a huge result for whichever team gets it.
He's a gun, Paul Chapman. 2 goals so far, 23 for the year. Geelong lacking traditional target forwards, but they have so many players who can kick goals. They have 9 who have kicked more than 20 for the year. Umpire Stevic taking the safety first approach, throwing it up amid Mark Howard's sleet. Riley, Symes. Now Adelaide needing a reply late in the piece here. Here's Dangerfield just trying to juggle it around the back. Rourke wrenching it away from him. Beautifully done. Tenace and Enright. Kane Tenace getting a chance in the second half of this season after being starved of opportunity for a long time at Geelong. Chapman, Ablett mown down by Rutten. Shirley, John Cock, Big Seller. Still out Adelaide try and construct something. Riley.
Stay there. Stay there.
Now can they find a way in?
Move it on.
There's nothing obvious there. It has to go short. Knights providing a lot of energy. Not a bad placement for Burton, who's running hot. Misjudged that one. Joel Corey, and the Cats might just play safe here and hold it up till the siren.
Thanks, Jason. Play on.
Mumford back to Selwood. Now Gillies. Late inclusion for Lonergan, out with a groin injury. This kick, though, allows Van Berlo a sniff. He knocks it down. Ball in dispute. Tenace. How will that sit? They're forced to double back. Bog. And he can regather.
So a 4-goal-to-1 second quarter by the Cats gives them an 18-point lead. In a low-scoring game, it's handy.
It is. They haven't blown them away, have they? Adelaide had their moments. The Cats, some nice moments as well.
Geelong in control at Skilled Stadium at halfway, leading by 3 goals. With the Crows, 3 goals down. They have the scoring end. They really have to make something of it in the next 30 minutes. Well, the game is almost certainly gone. Marriage and Mumford and umpire Nichols sending the ball into orbit. Shirley, well dispensed with by the Cats. Boy, it's not giving a bloke much chance. It's a crush in there in the circle. So a free kick to Mumford. Ablett lurking around the back, but he trusts his right foot. Mackie will take a free kick. And again, the whistle favouring Geelong. The number's 15-8. The Cats' way.
And Tim, at that centre bounce, Mackie was a loose man at the back and Riley won for Adelaide. So both teams playing one short in their forward line.
Mackie just trying to nurse that kick into half forward, but didn't get the right result. And Riley takes it away. Rutten, Hawkins worrying him, and he's got the strength to match him and give Rook a chance. Wyszynski done some good things, used his pace to effect. Scott Thompson though. Riley and Vince and Van Berlo, and now John Cock. And Riley's found some space down the Hickey stand wing, but is held from advancing. No man on the mark, but just can't see anything in the first instance. Now goes to Marriage for Tippett. Second grab. Oh, Enright getting the telling fist in there.
Not that pocket again, Tim.
They like it.
They really need the first in this third term. Tough conditions, windy. We've seen a bit of rain. Both teams playing defensive. It's been a low-scoring slog. And the Cats with the numbers here. Corey. Oh, little bit of trouble. Milburn brought down. That's holding the ball.
Absolutely it is.
And a free kick for Tippett. Geez, such a mobile big man.
Here it is.
Just a bit of indecision from the back line there. That was most unlike them, and particularly Milburn. Just
half a metre.
That's holding the ball in any language, isn't it?
Yep, we'll agree on that.
Opened the door slightly, and Tippett took his opportunity.
Right away. Thank you.
This to cut the margin back to 12 points. It's been a seesawing opening half. Kurt Tippett, and he kicked 2 in the first. We're right behind him, and he just squeezes that in. Terrific kick from Kurt Tippett, and it's back to 2 kicks in it.
Pressure, here it is. Held up by Corey, gives it to his teammate. Probably put him in a bit more trouble than I first thought. But well done from Tippett.
A couple of bad moments for Darren Milburn at that end of the ground. One in the first quarter, and that one a moment ago. Have both produced Adelaide goals. Otherwise, his 250th game has been full of merit. The Crows within 2 goals. They need to rattle some on in this quarter. Give themselves some sort of advantage at the last change. McLeod's kick smothered. Enright, Bartel, Selwood methodically forward to Steve Johnson, who looks for 50. Doesn't get it.
Nothing in that. Stay out, Scotty. Wait for the call.
Knows he needs to advance in a hurry and try and have the Adelaide defence wrong-footed. Now there is a golf shot, and he gets a result. I'm not sure what he was after. Maybe that's exactly what he was after, and he knew that Joel Selwood was just the man to run with the flow of the ball and risk all.
He's mercurial. Is he that mercurial?
Now, Kelly.
It's almost like a wedge shot.
I couldn't imagine that happening. I think he did know that. I think he did plan that. But look at this. What else are we doing? He's trying to kick it to Selwood.
Look away pass.
Yeah.
Selwood owes him the goal. And he produces the goal. Wasn't it beautifully done?
Did the wind kick this goal, or did the wind move the ball off the boot and kick the goal? Which one?
I reckon he meant that, Joel Selwood.
Good.
He's all class. For a 21-year-old, perhaps the next captain of this club. And the sun peeking through here at Skilled Stadium. Crows are looking to send it back into attack. They need the quick reply. Knights, poor pleasure. There's a loose man back. Edwards to the centre of the ground. This is Doughty. He tries a wedge kick there, just pops it up. Almost came off for Knights. And now loose men inside 50, and Marriage takes the mark. So well played by the Adelaide Crows. They moved it around, were patient on that build-up. Ivan Marriage, not a notable goal kicker. Just the 2 this year, in fact. It's just a case there, Malcolm, of anyone really inside 50, any, many, mighty, mo.
It was actually good they came back inside. He's not the best kick, but he's actually an okay kick.
He's 18-8 for his career.
And just 2 for the year from inside 50. He lets it rip. Not to be. They could have done with that one. Ivan Marriage.
As Bruce Dool once said, you're a freak, Blighty. What did you say? He's not the best kick, but he's not the worst.
He's an okay
So
kick.
you sat on the fence and he hit the post.
Yep.
Which is about just what you predicted. They might be getting another shot shortly. Cats putting it out on the full. So Vince for Adelaide. In the sunlight, Burton flying and collecting it a second and a third time. Losing it though. Tippett could kick a 4th goal here. Oh, he's missed everything. No, he hasn't. He scored a behind. Well, he was in the better pocket, but he missed it big time. Cats by 16.
Certainly had more of the opportunities at the start of this 3rd term, Adelaide. As Enright back in play. Needed to find a target and did. This is Johnson to Gillies. They're mucking around with it here. They could pay the price. Harley back to Steve Johnson. Look at that handball, straight to Marriage, and they affect the turnover. Edwards, can they sting them on the rebound? Vince spinning out of trouble, and then sweeping handball over to McLeod, who just pops it out in front of Burton. Well played by the Adelaide Crows. And it's met by silence from this very parochial Geelong crowd.
Trademark Andrew McLeod there. In space. Uses the ball beautifully when he's got time. He's done it for years. Been a marvellous player.
So they're dragging themselves back into this contest, the Adelaide Crows. Burton's already got a couple. He's kicked 1 in each quarter. A tough task. The wind behind him. Which way will it move? Just hasn't got the carry. Was the mark paid? No. And through for a behind. So it's back to 15 points at Skilled Stadium.
Now, speaking of Andrew McLeod, Malcolm, as you were, he turns 33 in a couple of days' time. How much more footy has he got?
I think on this year's form, you take it year by year, but I think another year, at least.
Milburn, terrific shepherd by Bartel. Rutten there, big strong man. Fumbled though, let Hawkins in. Good contest between 2 heavyweights. Bock to Shirley. Back to Bock it comes. Poor Pleasure is there. Oh, Gillies did it well. What a good mark. 3rd gamer. Under a lot of pressure back there today. Ablett now to Enright. Not 15. Kaczynski, though, plenty of space and pace. Now Bartel. Told he has to go, and he goes well to Hawkins, to Johnson. Stokes calling for it inside. Johnson perhaps just a little fancy that time, trying to run it off the instep. Crows work it around. Van Berlo and Goodwin. McLeod. Back to Van Berlo. Rutten. Now Shirley. So they negotiate that Geelong thrust. John Cock with Bartel bearing down. John Cock, robust player. Not a lot of carry in that left foot kick. Selwood stems the build-up for Geelong. There's a Shepherd. He was protected by a teammate. And Knights takes the free kick. Adelaide dangerous. Geelong disorganised for the moment. Milburn, though, arrives and Mackey mops up.
He certainly does. As the Crows' game plan quite obvious, trying to run it out of defence. And now the Cats trying to do exactly that. Seward to Hawkins. He can release a runner out wide and he goes in that direction. Bartel, 23 touches in the opening half, more than anyone on the ground. He puts Wojcinski under pressure. He might go back and get it. Selwood back to Bartel, and now by foot, all by himself, is Stokes. Difficult angle.
So they're working hard, aren't they?
They certainly are. He bombs it long to the contest. Ablett is there. Good one. Good relieving mark in front. You were just talking about McLeod playing on. A bit of a dilemma for Neil Craig. The Golden Oldies, there's 4 of them. Goodwin. Edwards is one of them. And obviously Burton as well, all in their 30s. Can they all play on next year?
On this year's form, I'd say yes.
As Varco back in, and his target was Chapman, and he stood his ground. They were coming for him. Chapman takes the mark. McLeod's the oldest on the list by 2 days. Edwards turns 33 on Thursday, I think it is. So not quite sure they'll be sharing a birthday cake this week at all, but all 4 can go on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they're still good enough. Yeah, they've worked hard for this. I reckon that breeze has just got up a bit. The kick going forward now from Geelong is falling short. The Crows is carrying. I think it might be a bit breezy.
Paul Chapman for his 3rd. Never in doubt. And they edge clear.
So the finish by Paul Chapman, and here's how it started. Too much carry on the kick in. Beautifully executed kick by Varco, and with a little twist of the body, Chapman took the mark and kicked his 3rd goal. He and Cameron Stokes share 3rd position on Geelong's goal-kicking table. Cats doing it well here. Burns, Johnson, Goodwin with him. Nearly marked it, did the Adelaide skipper. Appeals to the umpire. Gets no sympathy from Scott McLaren.
Big centre bounce then, Tim. You know, they've just got a goal kick against them from Adelaide point of view. And to lose one so clearly in the middle like that, frustrating.
Symes to Bock to Vince. Bartel there with the hammering spoil for Mooney. Chapman again. How will this bounce? It'll bounce pretty well. Through for a goal. His 4th. It's the Cats by 27 points.
I mean, we look at all the hard work done beforehand. That kick there, sometimes when you're playing in slow motion, you can see it bounce at the right time on its end and make an adjustment. That was fascinating. No one saw that.
Well, the Crows got it back to a 12-point ball game, and in the blink of an eye, it's out to 27. So dangerous times here for the visitors. Burton leads Harley in the race over the line.
Once again, Kelly, I just wouldn't be leading to that pocket. Just waste time. Dead time.
Back in play. They stick with that side of the pocket. Pleasure, quick snap. Misses to the near side. So the Crows have to take some risks. They're certainly not out of this contest by any stretch of the imagination. Trying to match it with them on the scoreboard.
Still, they have just 2 goal kickers. They're not going to win a game that way. Keeping Geelong's back half honest here, and eventually they win the turnover. Doughty to Riley. Thought about it and gives to Tippett, who has 3 of their 5 goals. Burton has the other 2. McLeod. Ground bathed in glorious sunshine at the moment. Here's Symes, but he kicked hastily. And Knights was never going to be able to mark that. Cats make an easy takeaway. Johnson, Enright had to wait a long time, but did it beautifully as he went onto the left side, and Bock wasn't expecting it. Chapman to Varco, whose confidence is rising, and he's quite a sight when he's in full flight. Ling weighted down, 2 to beat. Could he do it? He can't. Doughty. Rutten.
So the exhilarating from Varco, wasn't it? Just took them on.
Edwards, a little bit risky. Goes back and gets it again. Overcooked the kick. Riley was there. Now Van Berlo. moving it forward. It's a low kick. Really makes Otten work for it. They've got the numbers though. Riley back inside 50. Well spotted, great vision, and John Cock on the lead takes the mark.
Much better build-up, isn't it, as they come back into the centre of the ground? I mean, those kicks out wide have really hurt them today. I've mentioned it a number of times. I probably should get off it now, but it has hurt them.
I think Craigie should have had them in Indian headdress at half-time and told them that that side of the ground is Death Valley.
Who would be so silly to do that?
Don't know.
Graham John Cock, not a notable goal kicker this year. He's booted just the one. Usually plays in defence. Really need one there, and he stands up and he produces one. Great goal, Graham John Cock.
A lot of good things Jimmy Bartell does in footy. Have a look at this. Bang. He's hard at it too. He's got all the skill, and there's a little to-do. Was that a square up? Probably was.
He's been good today after his thrilling finish last week. He'd had 23 possessions at half-time here today, and that's his best ever in the first half of a match. Tom Harley finding some touch after a slightly shaky start. Mackie lost the radar on that one. Gee, that looked unlucky. I thought he stumbled. Doughty, the beneficiary of Travis Varco's mistake.
Can I just say that's garbage? I mean, that's so technical, it's not even funny, is it?
It's also long.
Oh, it's just, he tried to avoid him and they tangled. Get out. Oh, why do they do that? God.
They would say they have no discretion, Malcolm, I suspect.
Oh, go and buy it from the dictionary.
Michael Doughty. John Cock became their third goal kicker a moment ago, and Doughty now becomes their fourth as the Crows start working their way back.
Here's the kick over. Doughty went to go, let him go.
It's the hold, I guess. He's penalised him for the hold, as fleeting as it was.
Mooney back in the middle.
I don't think they're friends.
Head-to-head with Seller. Now Hogan. Bouncing ball. Goodwin meets it first, and then is collected. Van Berlo outstretched. Might have won a free, and he did.
Steve, watch the knee. Watch the knee.
Replay of this incident. And there's the knee in the back. The match review panel might have a little look at that during the week, as the Crows go backwards to eventually go forwards.
Hold.
Skipper.
Move it on, Simon. Play on.
Cats kicked 3 in a row. Crows kicked the last 2. So can they reply with perhaps 3? John Cock on the outer side. Sun causing a bit of a problem. No option but to go long up the line. And a big pack forms. Harley might have played for in the back there. Gillies at the back of the pack to Hogan. Hemmed in against the boundary line. If anyone's going to work out of it, it'll be that man. But he can't on this occasion. And Ablett sees it over. A little slow to get to his feet.
Just 14 touches, Gary Ablett. I mean, he's done some things, but not one of his major possession days. Surely doing a reasonable job.
Tippett took it beautifully out of the ruck and then gave the little handball to Dangerfield, who was running past, but he's kicked just too much on it for Burton. Burton's outnumbered. The Cats out of defence. Sits up for Gillies. Over the top, Johnson. Now to Wajinski, and then he provides the Shepherd and allows Steve Johnson to pinpoint the pass to Rook on the lead. They're building the Cats. Into Burns, who pops it out beautifully in front of Ablett, but it was John Cock that read it best, and now accelerating out of defence. Perhaps they can create something here. Riley, the kick, disappointing. Corey couldn't control it. Diving on it was Knight, so too Tenace.
It's a big moment in the game, hasn't it? Turned since that couple of goals from the Crows. Both teams now flat out. Cats with pride. Adelaide needing the win to stay near that top 4. Big 5 minutes.
14 points, not a lot, but Geelong coming home to the scoring end. Crucial phase for the Crows. Stand up and be counted. Shirley did well to Vince. Shirley's done the job on Ablett and done it admirably. But they're forced deep into Death Valley again.
Hold on, Justin,
I'm glad you said it, Tim, because I'm over it. It's hard to score from there. They've got to get back from there.
Mooney rucking again as he did so successfully in the last quarter last week. Tippett, Shirley getting some ball of his own. Knights under pressure, hanging, and poor Pleasure got there, but the effort just unbalanced him to the point that he couldn't quite hang on to the mark. He's gone goalless today, the Porpoise, who has been their best source of goals through this season. Although Kurt Tippett has gone past him today, and he might go further ahead of him now. He does, with a wonderful piece of initiative, and the Crows are within 8 points.
Got to the other side here, felt Mooney as ruckman leave him, had the presence to do it. Clever play.
And the game back in the balance as we head to three-quarter time. Margin 8 points. Crows win it out of the middle. Running onto it was Stevens. He was brought down by Mackie. Corey swoops. Handballs out wide. Burns is caught. He's spun right into trouble. Gets it back to Ling. And it's just a bouncing ball to half forward. In dispute. Rutten teaming up with Bock. Buys some time and space to Doughty. Across the face. Oh, look out. It was a 50-50 ball. Johncock stood his ground well. That's terrific mark by Graham Johncock. Straight down the middle. Van Berlo. They're pushing the Crows. Can they mount another challenge here? Marriage over the top, and another good diving mark taken by Stevens. Bounces to his feet. He spins round. He spots Otten all by himself. Distance might test him. The eyes are darting. He's looking for an option. Gives it off to Riley, and then he steps around Harley with ease, and from right on the paint, he unloads. It's touched, I think.
No, it's goal.
It's a goal for the Crows. Let's have a look at a replay of this. What the players thought it was touch, Malcolm. You called it a goal.
Just the way it went through, it looked as though the umpire right there didn't. Yeah, I thought it was a goal.
Well, the replay certainly didn't make the umpire's decision look bad. So the Crows are within 2 points. They've kicked the last 4 goals. They're dominating this game at the moment. But Adelaide will defend against the wind in the last quarter. Now here's Tyson Edwards using the preferred side as they want to get the ball forward quickly. They're doing a lot right. Marriage to Vince, to Knights. And Adelaide playing with a lot of authority just at the moment.
7-1 clearances in the last 10 minutes. Tim.
Dominating the ball, and they've had about 50 possessions to 17 in that time, and they might hit the front. Otten, he had 1 career goal before that moment, and he still has 1 career goal, and he hasn't even added to his behinds tally. It's Geelong's ball. He hurried his kick, and he made an awful mess of it.
Big flight from Enright there. Now Milburn. Oh, they're in a bit of strife here. Enright, Wojcinski dashes away. Johnson. Oh, he better be careful. He's going to get caught, and a player's gone down behind play. And that is Dangerfield. He might have been collected high. Marriage does well. Dispossesses Corey. Oh, and the umpire says tripped.
Dangerfield in trouble.
Stop. We're going to go in trouble here.
Play stopped. He is in trouble.
Has laid motionless since he was collected, Patrick Dangerfield.
Close to where we are. Okay, so this is a bit dangerous.
Looks semi-conscious.
Let's give him a chance to sort it out.
Let's have a look at what happened. Oh, Joel Selwood. Now that's an interesting one.
Just didn't appear to get him high.
No.
Just appeared to lose his balance.
And the intent was legitimate. The ball was very much in play.
Let's have a look at this. He looks okay. Good, he's fine. I think his head might have just hit the ground as he fell backwards.
Perhaps a big moment in this game as Corey just bombs away, blazes away, in fact. And Marriage with the mark. Out wide. Oh, it just sat up for Chapman to get a fist in there and cause a 50-50, and now the ball's in dispute. Sweeping onto it was Goodwin. Out wide to Symes. Last few minutes of this third term. Can the Crows hit the front? Not with the kicking like that. Corey Back inboard to Selwood, who put Dangerfield down just a few moments ago, and now Stokes. And he can go all by himself inside 50. How did he get alone? Gary Ablett. He thought about playing on, and then he thought better of it. And he'll go back and have a set shot. Yet to get a goal this afternoon.
Kelly, cometh the moment, cometh the man.
We'll see how you go with that, Malcolm.
Well, he's got to do something, doesn't he?
Gary Ablett. If anyone's going to kick it from there, it's the little master. And he extends the lead. A little bit of breathing space just before the last change. It's the Cats by 8 points.
Beautifully done.
One until it's all over. He has a habit of bursting into games destructively. Howie.
Tom Harley's gone off the rooms, guys. He had a clash with Corey Enright, almost looked concussed. So down to the rooms for the skipper, Tom Harley, just battling a little on the bench at the moment, the Cats.
Very important goal kicked by Ablett. 3-man bench at the moment for Geelong. Duncan Kellaway is there too, the former Tiger and state representative. He's one of Geelong's runners. He'd be handy in a crisis.
You're not allowed to play 23 though, Tim.
Tyson. Thanks, mate.
Well, they've lost their skipper. Just call in the runner.
Yeah.
Under a minute to go. Geelong by 8 points. Scoring end in the last quarter. Edwards puts Adelaide forward. Crows would love a goal to take momentum to three-quarter time. Selwood got rid of it a little dubiously. Enright, Milburn, and the barrel. A big one into the wind. Rook comes crashing through and gives the danger man a shot at it. A shot at what, you might ask? Adelaide's ball.
So 8 points in it. 5 goals to 4 for the Crows in this third term, but it'll be the Cats kicking with the breeze behind them in the last. Goodwin, long, one-on-one contest. And there was a bit of holding in there, perhaps. That's what the crowd wanted. Over the boundary line. A throw in right in front of the very vocal Reg Hickey stand. The Adelaide Crows aren't going away. And a terrific third term has got them right in this ball game. It is the Cats leading by just 8 points at the last change.
Yeah, it was a great fight back then for the Crows. The Cats looked under control. But late goals, very important.
5 goals to 4 Adelaide's way. The game alive at the last change.
201st.
Quarter, top 4 hopes on the line here for Adelaide. They're yet to beat a team in the top 3. The chance to make a very big statement this afternoon.
On the other hand, the Cats have wanted these situations, and they have yet another one. All good practice for them.
It is, Tim, and Ablett, Corey and Ling. The 3 guns are in the middle.
And young Gillies has got the task on Burton in the Crows forward line. The Cats fans in full voice. And we've got a game on our hands. Mumford down to Ablett, and he just burns the turf. Gets away from his Crows opponent, then just punches it to Mooney. Couldn't take the mark. Selwood broke the tackle, won the free for too high. Played on quickly, and the mark is taken by Hawkins. What a terrific start for the Cats.
Oh, Mumford to Ablett. Beautifully done.
A terrific crumb by Selwood, wasn't it? Strong.
Here's a kick under pressure. 2 Crows players leaning across his boot almost.
So Tom Hawkins directly in front, 30 metres out, yet to get a goal this afternoon, and we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. It did come back at the last minute, Malcolm.
I'm not going to say any more about his kicking. I fixed him up last week. What more does he want? No, but it's just a bit too stiff in the run. It's not quite natural yet.
That was a bad miss.
Yeah,
it was just a perfect build-up. It was a statement at the start of the last quarter, and they've let the chance slip. Oh, that doesn't look good. Is that
Rutten?
Rutten who's gone down. Important player for Adelaide. The Cats continue to press. Johnson on the left from a long way. Just misses. Crowd were up. Oh, gee, they're applying pressure here in the first couple of minutes. Ben Rutten.
Here's the incident with Rutten. Just collected by Mumford. That hurt.
Harley back on for the Cats.
Well, that's good news as the Crows bring it in through Bok. And the umpire thought about it, and he said play on advantage. Van Berlo. Oh, and the Crows player is caught, and Bernie Vince. And Corey happy to let him know about it as well. The youngster Vince tried to take Corey on.
No, stay out, Bernie. Time off, play on.
Corey handballs over the top. Stokes. Bombs long with the sit, and the fly was Mooney. Couldn't take the mark. Ball spills clear. McLeod. Marriage. Out wide and made Burton fly for it. Couldn't pull it down, and there's Harley back on the ground and with a possession.
So that was brave from Mackie then too, going back into the pack. Burton's absolutely flattened him.
Geelong most impressive here. They've loaded right up at the start of this last quarter. Adelaide getting everyone on the defensive side of the centre as they sense the danger here of being overwhelmed. Johnson arriving second. Almost prized that away from John Cock. Goodwin cleverly. Edwards. No depth in the kick. Bartel. Corey. Slicing the kick into the 50. Mooney not quite hanging on. Oh, and they both got the fumbles, he and Chapman. And you can't fumble against Adelaide.
Just have a look at this. Mackie backing back, and then Burton. Oh, he hit him hard. He took some deep, deep breaths. It's a courageous game most times, this game. You always, sometimes sitting up here, you forget about it, but oh, it's tough.
Back in the Cats forward line. Crows under pressure now. Ling and Thompson hold it up. They've gone toe-to-toe all afternoon.
Oh, big play. Big game this now, isn't it, for the Crows? I mean, Geelong are going to be in the finals. We know that. Where they sit is obviously going to be second. But for the Crows, if they can just hang out of this somehow, top four beckons.
Bodies piling in everywhere, and the umpire's picked out a free, and it's a high against Chapman, so the crowd won't like this. It's the youngster that Vince. He's really lifted his work rate early stages of this last term. He's coming into this game. He's had more touches than any other Adelaide Crow so far this year. Get themselves out a bit of a tricky situation, and Bok goes for a run over to Goodwin and then gives it back to Bok. He does well. Handballs off to John Cock. Right at the end, it put off the tackle, put off his kick, and it went straight to Milburn.
And it was Steve Johnson who chased as though his life depended on it. Goodwin the spoil there, but Mackie front and square. Stakes high at the moment, and the heat is on in this game. It's high quality. Shirley, Vince. Crows have absorbed the early pressure, but Geelong just won't let them in. Jimmy Bartel, outstanding day. But his kick falls short. Goodwin, Vince. Back to Goodwin. Ablett's got him covered and forces the throw in.
Tim, we're not playing at Etihad Stadium here. We're down at Skilled Stadium down at Geelong. It is windy, it is open, and some of the player skills haven't been at the best today, but neither of the conditions. So I think we can, can't be too critical.
Oh, it's terrific. It's real footy.
Yeah.
Crows make the takeaway. Riley the give and go. Burton the sit on Harley, and Brett Burton could have a go from there. Gary Ablett kicked one late in the previous quarter from almost that spot. But his local knowledge is better. However, Burton has a chance here to put Adelaide within 4 points.
The wind's as light as it's been all day too, Tim. Really just easing off now, the breeze.
So clutch moment. Geelong have had 2 shots and missed. Burton, good line, perfect. And the Crows are within a couple of points. Well, 4 points.
So since half-time, it's the Crows with 6 goals and the Cats with 4. threatening to really start to dictate terms here at Skilled Stadium. Cats have won 14 in here at their home ground. Very, very rarely beaten as the Crows go forward again. And that's a good mark out in front taken by Stevens under enormous pressure. A great contested mark. And then he sends it into the pocket and Knights on the lead. Well, they've really lifted their intensity. They've really lifted their work rate.
Haven't been in front all day.
No.
Chance for Chris Knights.
That breeze has just dropped off a bit. Look at those flags. We're looking over our shoulders here, and it's just dropped off a bit.
He's on the right side for a left footer. Steps over 50, sets it on its way, and the Adelaide Crows have hit the front.
Result for Adelaide. Looking at the live ladder, they would go into the top 4. Of course, Collingwood play Brisbane tonight. One of those two will win and presumably displace the Crows if they hang on in this game. It's a big game now. Joel Selwood with fierce courage. Last week, the Cats gave Hawthorn 28 points in the last quarter and won. Today, halfway through the third, Geelong led Adelaide by 27. And right now they're trailing by 2. And Adelaide are playing with confidence. Marriage, McLeod, John Cock, and away go the Crows again. Tippett been outstanding, and that was brilliant. Poor pleasure. McLeod. Crows calling the shots at the moment. Fine mark, Stevens over the top of Mackie. And the Cats are in a hole. Adelaide have kicked 2 on the trot to what has been the non-scoring end.
Just lost the clearances. They just the 50-50 balls are being won by Adelaide.
Can Stevens do it from out there? It's coming back. It is home, and the Crows lead by 8 points.
Look at that Tippett tap on. Amazing stuff. Perhaps basketball does help. You know the clearances since half time. Yeah, Tippett. The 17-5, the clearances, you know, stats mean something sometimes. They do at the moment. They're getting flogged, the Cats.
They certainly are getting flogged in this final term. 3 goals in a row. The last time Geelong lost at the Cattery was to Port Adelaide, round 21 in 2007. Since then, it's been 14 straight. Here they go. They desperately need a goal. Inside 50, Chapman. Paul Chapman has been a star today. He's already kicked 4, and he's standing up when counted.
Mooney's free kick.
Yeah, should a team...
It was a good mark, though, wasn't it?
It was a great mark. No, Mooney was being held off the ball.
Should a team have a choice as to who takes the shot in that situation? Mooney drives it through. It doesn't matter.
Just.
Centre clearances. So watch this. You might be able to see this infringement. See, Rutten's just got him and trying to hold on to him. And fair enough. Fair enough. He turned him inside out.
So Geelong back within 2 points, but the Crows have kicked 7 of the last 9 goals. There's a push, an Adelaide free kick against Bartel. Advantage called here. Smother on Thompson's kick. Creates an important contest. Harley, Tenace, Enright rarely makes a mistake. Goes for Selwood, has him lunging. Didn't mark it.
High tackle.
So umpire Stevic relying on some input from one of his colleagues before awarding Joel Selwood a free kick. Well, the Cats have wanted contests. They've wanted struggle. They're getting it right here at home against Adelaide. Harley's kick, not great, but it finds Hawkins. Mackie, good move now. Hogan, quiet day. Placement wasn't bad, but Shirley got a very important hand in. Marriage done some good things in the second half. John Cock, Dangerfield, recovered from a heavy knock and fall. Takes it wide for Goodwin. Big 20 minutes here for Adelaide. Goodwin to Symes. Joel Corey, such a big last quarter last week, gets an important free kick here. Put his body in the right spot.
Handballs over the top. And now they go along the line on the outer side. Here's Chapman. Terrific afternoon. 4 goals. Sends it to half forward. In front was Ablett. Terrific fist by Shirley. Varco, can he keep it in play? He does. Can he create something special? Couldn't find Mooney the target. Desperate stuff from Cam Mooney. And now Varco can't break the tackle. The Crows' defence under enormous pressure, and it stands up well. John Cock, Van Berlo. They can clear out of the defensive 50. Knights, he's got someone all by himself in front of the interchange gates, the youngster in Otten, and he can run. They're burning them on the rebound now. Pleasure out in front.
Stay there.
2 on 2 ahead of him.
Quick to his feet, out in front. Burton read that beautifully. He dives in and takes the mark in front of Harley. What will Brett Burton do here?
He'll have a shot at goal, I'm betting. And the breeze has dropped off. It'll go from right to left. Occasionally, if he doesn't hit it, he can shank them. His worst kick is a really bad miss to the right.
Brett Burton delivers, and he's kicked his 4th.
This quarter fascinating. 8-4 Geelong's way for 1 goal. Adelaide, 4 entries, 4 marks in there, 4 goals. And that depleted Geelong defence is being spread, and it hasn't been able to hold up under the strain of this. And Adelaide are on the brink of a big upset. Ablett. Milburn to Harley, and a tremendous smother by Seller, who might set up a killing Adelaide attack. Oh, great steal. David Vachinsky, terrific effort. He was at full stretch.
Is that one of those big moments in the game, Tim? Is this where we see it turn around? Because that was all over a goal.
I'll tell you in a minute. It might not be. It'll be Knights. Oh, he was almost pushed in the back. Desperate moment for the Geelong defence. A rush behind the outcome. Adelaide's lead is 9 points. Geelong feeling the heat.
And wouldn't they love Matthew Scarlett? Oh, Lang's fumble. He's able to regather. They would just love Matthew Scarlett back there at the moment, because the Crows certainly exposing their young, inexperienced defence in this final term. Here go the Cats through Milburn. He sends it inside 50. Mooney by himself. Mooney takes the mark. Anything could happen here. Anything could happen. Handballs over the top to Chapman. Chapman, tough angle. Impossible angle. Miraculous goal. He's kicked 5.
Have a look at this. There's the build-up. Now, where's Chapman? Have a look where Chapman is on the foreground there. He's run probably 40, 45 metres to get that. Great work.
Tell you what, if I wanted someone to kick for goal for my life, he's just about the bloke I'd throw the ball to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'd be white around the gills as I did it. As a lot of Cat fans are right now.
Tim,
Adelaide lead by 3 points.
It's still only a game. Let's keep it,
Not quite life and death.
No. But it's important. It's more important than that, as they say. Oh, that was great.
So Tom Harley, part of that beleaguered Geelong defence, just not holding up, and really they've got to stop the flow from midfield. The Cats, if they're going to win this. Bartel, 3rd man up. Then he brought it straight to Vince, to Bock, Shirley. Adelaide playing with cool heads and skilled hands. Symes to Thompson. Places the kick nicely in the Burton direction. Corey did the job that time. Hard bodies at the contest. And a ball up will be the outcome. More than 8 minutes left, almost half a quarter. And we'll learn a bit about these teams in that time. Free kick to Geelong now.
We certainly will. You've got to feel for the Cats fans. 2 thrillers in consecutive weeks. Over to Hogan. This is what it's all about. To Chapman. He's been brilliant. Will he unload from well outside 50? He does. Mooney's in the goal square. Oh, what a goal, Paul Chapman! 6 for Chappie. And he's happy, no doubt about that.
Career high, 6 goals. He saved my life, he might save Geelong's.
Wow. I mean, Hasn't the game as a crescendo since that third quarter, since the second half, just gradually build up?
It's built and built all afternoon. It was a little scrappy in that first quarter.
It's almost like the punch and counter punch and... Oh, that's... Can't buy them. Good kicks in footy. Most treasured possession.
He's a wonderful player. He's tough, he's committed, and he's skilled. He might be the match winner, but it's not over. These Crows aren't done with. Cameron Ling, great smother on his kick by Van Berlo. Still the Cats press. Hogan sets it up. He's after Chapman. Oh, he nearly did it. Goodwin, Adelaide holding up. John Cock, Van Berlo, McLeod, Seller, Edwards, and away come the Crows in a wave again. They've been magnificent in this last quarter. Now Riley, for poor Pleasure having a bad day, but he gets away from Gillies and puts it in the danger zone. Joel Correa cool-headed last quarter again, releasing Vachinsky. Lovely kick to Varco, who is fleet of foot and dangerous at every turn. Could construct something here for the Cats. Steve Johnson, half a thought ahead of everyone almost all the time. Chapman imposing himself again, but Adelaide come away. Rutten, Bock, Goodwin. And now Symes, and he finds Vince.
That's been quick.
Cattery is absolutely rocking as we count down. Geelong by 3 points. Vince just in play. Desperate stuff. The Cats have really lifted.
Oh, I can imagine the half of Adelaide's on their seats right now. They were right on the edge. Unbelievable. The build-up to this game is now great.
Plenty at stake. Hawkins. Now Ablett. He's tackled by Shirley. Hawkins goes again. Selwood. Back to Enright. Bombs long. Mooney camped underneath it. He's at the drop. He went for the free. Goodwin over the top. Now Van Berlo. He's going to take on Varco. He's a brave man. He gets his kick away. Tippett. Can he trap it? He does. Out wide to Vince. And he spotted a loose man and he can release John Cock. Got time to pause, take a breath, and upfield to Riley. He's been terrific today, Brent Riley. Great in the showdown last week. And here he goes again. He looked for Burton, made Burton work for it. Needs to be a couple. Coming in and offering some support with Stevens, and it's all held up.
Hawkins in ruck, Tippett in ruck. Two of the young Tyros in the AFL going at it.
Heart-stopping battle for the second week in a row for Geelong. Adelaide after its most significant win of the season. Haven't beaten a top 4 team since round 1. And the locals have their hearts in their mouths. Hawkins, Tippett, Stevens, who's kicked a goal in this last quarter. He gets it behind here. Geelong lead by 2 points. Still plenty of time left.
Right, really set up here. Zone. Adelaide have a very tight zone, probably 15 players in it.
Ablett, safe hands, finds the target. Hogan is going to hold it up. 5 minutes to go. It's a cliffhanger at the Cattery. Selwood. Now Johnson might be in strife. Umpire says play on. Cats perhaps looking for the safety of the boundary line. Still in play. Hemmed in against the boundary line, and now we see it over. We'll go again. It's tough, hard footy. No easy ball one here. Marich and Hawkins. Hawkins, front position. I think Hawkins might have got the free.
Oh, clumsy, clumsy.
It was Marich that had his arm pinned, and so Hawkins wins the free. Pokes it out wide to Selwood.
Adelaide still pushing back with the zone here.
He goes along the line and it needed to be precise, and it was. It found Hogan.
Kelly, that was a lovely shot, that kick.
We saw Selwood drag his side back into the contest last week. Now Hogan. Fly was from Ablett from behind. Goodwin needs to get rid of it. Did well to get the handball away. Now Dangerfield over to Dowdy. Oh, fumble. No time for fumbles at this stage. John Cock back to Dangerfield, and now Dowdy goes again. A little bit more time. Set it up the line. And Symes couldn't take the mark because closing quickly was Enright, and he just got a critical hand to it to see it over.
Oh, these are great scenes. This is old-fashioned footy. And these are two modern-day experts at applying pressure.
Yes.
They are throwing it down to each other. Mumford and Big Marriage. Shirley, Ablett's got him. Good ball up. So, a couple of minutes have elapsed since the 5-minute warning. Geelong lead by 2 points. Umpire Nichols belting it down and elevating it perfectly. Tyson Edwards, Knights under it. Shirley gave Adelaide the 2-on-1, and Riley's wide. Places it carefully, but Geelong got the numbers in place, and Corey Enright is just a masterly defender. Awkward for Hogan. Ling shotgun. Enright again. Got it onto his boot, and it gives Selwood a chance. Chapman, can he go all the way? He doesn't really try. Stokeson, Stokes is there crumbing. He might be the danger yet. Mooney too. Adelaide defence in a frenzy.
You'd think maybe a score from Geelong here, a goal might do it. Crows need to get at the other end. No avoiding stuff.
Certainly is Marriage. The Crows' defence under enormous pressure. It needs a cool head. John Cock to Dangerfield, to Vince. He can go to Dangerfield if he wants. Oh, he nearly was caught by Mooney. Now Rutten needs to get it clear. Enormous pressure applied from Geelong, and they're able to hold it up, and that's a big win for the Cats.
Oh, look, the coaching moves now about Neil. It's about players' heart.
Get behind me.
Just want to get the footy. Make a space for your teammate.
Who wants it most? Mumford, terrific tap. Ablett, Shirley, wearing him like a glove, and now Selwood ridden into the ground. It's not coming out of there.
How long do you reckon, Tim?
Oh, plenty of time.
Oh.
Well, he looks as cool as a cucumber, the coach, Bomber Thompson. No doubt the tummy will be churning, though. Marriage, Edwards running onto it, dispossessed. Selwood, eyes only for the footy, and he wins a free kick. Geez, a good player.
He's good at that, isn't he? He can just drop his shoulder and they get him up high so many times.
To centre half forward, Johnson.
Well,
here's Mercurial.
Something could happen here. See, I do the barrel. Torpedo. Belled it.
Too far out to score. Yes. He can hear you, Blighty, from where we're sitting, and he does just that. Again, the Crows under enormous pressure. Forced to tackle down. He did well. And now they can run out of defence.
Yes, well, the barrel came unstuck, and Adelaide just had a little bit of movement here. Edwards, but he missed Stevens. Under pressure, the fierce pressure. Forced the hand pass offline.
Tim, it wasn't because it wasn't a good idea, because everyone was covered. If he got onto it, might have been the goal.
Probably got a couple of minutes left. You get about 7 minutes after the 5-minute warning, I've worked out. Hogan giving it off. Tackle high on Marriage as he dipped at the knees, and the big man drew the high tackle. So Adelaide can mount what might be a last charge. Their captain Goodwin, he has men wide. Rutten, such a fine defender for them. Has to pump long in the end. Rook with Symes from behind. Front and square Knights. The hands needed to be clean. All the heads collided.
Ouch.
Two men hard at the ball. I reckon Knights was over at first, and there's a case there that it was his free kick, but I reckon his head was there. 60 out from Adelaide's goal. Not windy at the moment. Cameron Ling, an important possession. Johnson gets territory, would like the line. He doesn't get it. Doughty for the Crows. They're queuing up. Cats are all backward of the centre. Most of them in the 50. Edwards, clever little kick, and big Ivan Maric from outside 50.
Now, this is the win. Has dropped. There's no doubt that the quality of the football's lifted in this last quarter. Ivan Maric can kick it about 49 metres.
So if the wind was behind him, the wind might kick a goal. He probably hasn't got the finesse to do anything but have the shot. So he's going for it. From outside 50, the big man. It fades right. How will it fall? Mooney's down the back. There'll be a throw in. Well, this could be the biggest clearance of Adelaide's season. We've had almost 7 minutes since the 5-minute warning. Time must nearly be up.
Back in play. Tippett tried to do it all out of the ruck. It goes in Burton's direction. It's all Geelong. And there's the siren. And for the second straight week, the Cats celebrate a famous victory.
They wanted contest, they wanted challenge. They've got it. It was 1 point last week. It was 2 points this week. How much more of this can we stand?
Not much, Tim.
What a performance by both teams. It was a magnificent contest. Adelaide wouldn't say die. Put themselves in front. Couldn't quite win it. Mark Howard.
Well, Paul Chapman, you're winning the close ones, which is a great sign for the team.
Yeah, it is. It's bad that they're getting so close. Our third quarter wasn't great, and we let them back in the game. But look, they're a quality side. We know that. We can't give any side that's as good as them a chance. And we made a game out, and so did they. And happy to come away with the points.
What about your own game, mate? 6 goals, career high. That couple of goals in the last quarter, fantastic.
Yeah, it was good. It's always nice to kick goals. I've had a little bit of the yips of late, but hopefully today's changed all that, and I'm back.
How much confidence give you last week to get over Hawthorn? That 28 points down the last quarter. It must have given you a tremendous boost.
I think it did, yeah. Look, we've always got that belief, but until you actually do it against a quality side like Hawthorn, you think, geez, you can do it against anybody. And look, we're never out of the game as long as we, keep believing ourselves and back our game plan.
Just quickly, mate, Cameron Ling voted the sexiest footballer in the competition this week. Was that you blokes, or was that the ladies of Geelong?
Probably the ladies of Geelong. I don't know if they like the paddle pop line, then it's all good. So.
Well played today, mate. Great win.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jack.
Oh, it's a shattering loss for the Crows, isn't it? They were so close, and that could have been the difference between finishing top 4 and not.
Yeah, they'll rue what happened earlier, though. I mean, they were great late, but it is a 4-quarter game. We know all that, and nothing to be disgraced about that. They've got some good youngsters, and they're coming. But I guess in the end, it was the Cats the scoreboard. You've got to play for 4 quarters.
Are the Cats tottering a bit, or is this all good for them?
Can't answer. I'll answer that late in September. I reckon it's the only time you can answer it.
It has been a fantastic match at Geelong. The Cats have survived again. Winners by 2 points over the Crows. A wonderful game of footy.